Hello and welcome to the Red Button Marketing and Training podcast. This is Button Banter, where we're going to have conversations with those people working in a marketing role and find out more about their stories, journeys, experiences and thoughts and feelings, because marketing is just epic. So we would like to reach out and chat more with those people who are out there doing great stuff. So enjoy this podcast. This is Button Banter. Hi, and in this episode, I am joined by the one and the only, drum roll, big intro, Jeni Smith from NetKno.
Hello.
The crowds are roaring. Hey! We've got the sound effects. Hi, Jeni. Hello. Welcome to Button Banter.
Thanks so much for having me.
You are very, very welcome. A very, very special guest. A lot's been happening with you, but we want to know more. Just tell our listeners a little bit then about NetKno. And yeah.
So NetKno, it's all about networking. Helping people. New tagline that I'm just trying out.
Oh,
helping
you can try
people,
a few here.
to network smarter. I'm
like
all
that.
about networking smarter, not harder. So
Yeah.
strategies, training, products, anything that can help people get more from networking.
We love
so,
that.
yeah, we're all about just chatting to people.
I know. I mean, people say that, don't they? They go, is networking just going somewhere for a cup of coffee and having a chat? And I'm like, I'm sure that there is more to it. There's so much more to it.
It could be wine. Yeah.
It could be wine.
It could be, yeah.
Actually, I'm no good on buffets. I'm dairy free and I'm a pain in the neck.
Oh,
But anyway,
I'm
that's-
vegan. I'm sober. I'm a nightmare. for
I'm
dietary
awkward. Yeah, I'm
requirements.
just starting to think I'm maybe a networking nightmare in some ways because I'm like, I've really got to give you all my requirements before I get there. But on the subject of that, there is much more, isn't there, going on with networking than maybe people think. I've got to say, I'm feeling we could kind of chat for a long time, probably today, but it is just such a great thing. How is the kind of the landscape for networking at the minute? What do you think?
Networking has been on a journey, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The past few years especially. So I've been networking professionally for about 16 years.
Wow.
I was a full-time networker in Liverpool for a year, which is a job I just created.
Can I just say, Jeni, as a
Yeah.
job title, I mean, what were you called? Networker?
So I set up as a sole trader and I used to go to like 5-6 events every day, Monday to Friday. It literally didn't pay for food or wine for a year.
I'm just thinking this is a financially good thing.
But I used to go on behalf of a lot of different people. So I'd take on a client, do a corporate analysis of their business, and then find out who their target markets were, go out and network. And I'd do all the legwork. So then anyone I met that was a good fit for them, I would just facilitate that introduction. So they paid me a monthly retainer. I covered the cost of all the membership fees and stuff. And interestingly, with networking, you'll know this, the more that you network, the more people you know, it increases your social capital. So the more people want to know you, they want to tap into that network. So I got invited to loads of things that my clients would never have had access to.
Yeah.
Just because the more you kind of get known. So I did that for like a year and then wanted to sit in a dark corner and cry.
That is actually amazing. This is what I love, right, as well as uncovering like how you've got to where you are, in terms of that. But that is a cracking job.
It was great at the time. I was young, free, single, living in Liverpool. It was capital of culture at the
Oh
time.
my God,
it
Liverpool,
was like
amazing.
music and food, and it was just awesome. I couldn't do it now. I'm far too. I like to be in bed at 9:30.
I was going to say we'd have to get onto the diary of a network, like a day in the life of a networker. I mean, that, Jeni, is not the title of your first book.
Back in the day, there's some stories I could tell. I won't share them.
Just looking at my watch, I'm just thinking if we need to do that after the watershed.
After that.
That's a 9 p.m. podcast. Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that was cracking. So that kind of gave you the whole insight.
Yeah,
and
so
then
that's where it kind of all started. Then I founded a network. I took what I learned attending events and flipped it and started hosting events back home in Carlisle. So I'm from Carlisle, just outside Carlisle originally. And then I met a boy.
Oh, yeah.
In Magaluf, of all the places. The capital of love. Romance Central.
You were doing some networking in Magaluf, weren't you?
Yeah, met a boy. And he's from the northeast, so I ended up moving over here and then ran a network, the Muscle Club over here in the northeast. I was the MD there for about 3 years nearly. And then, I took a step back from networking, worked in tech for a few years, which was amazing. And then I went on maternity leave. And when I went on maternity leave, I knew then that going back to work, it had to be doing what my passion is. And that's always been networking. And just before I'd kind of gone on maternity leave, I'd gone through this process with Durham University I'd kind of created in my head a visual. It sounds a bit weird, this.
No, I get it.
Like,
I'm on your page.
Yeah, you're there. Like of what the world of networking looked like. And it was like 8 concentric circles, and each zone had its own characteristics. And anyway, I doodled it one day at work, and the CEO said, "Oh, that's a hypothesis. You need to look into that." And I was like, "Well, what's a hypothesis?"
Can I spell that?
Yeah. So off I went to Google to find out what that was, and then ended up taking it to Durham Uni. They did 2 rounds of academic research into the ecosystem. It looks a lot nicer now than it did then, but that really like spurred me on to start my own business to essentially help people create their own networking strategies. So once you understand what the ecosystem of networking events looks like, and you can start looking at where your target market network, then you can position yourself in the right place.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take that and like share it with people, basically.
I think that's fantastic. And I think it just goes to show that, you know, we go about our day to day and we see these things and we go to things, but there's always so much more behind the scenes, and there's usually a lot of science in stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it is great when someone like you've had that vision to be able to kind of lift the lid. Someone said to me the other day, it's like lifting the bonnet and having a really good look inside, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
There's one there, you can have that, Jenny.
The
The car's got to be red, obviously. But just saying. But that whole science of it, and then bringing that back out and making people think again.
Yes.
I think that's fantastic. Do you know what I mean? And I think this is where, and, you know, certainly we'll talk about sort of networking, but equally about like your business and where you are now, and just recently launched a new website and your platform. You know, we're seeing great things. Great things are happening with it. I think it's because people need this knowledge, don't they? They need to have that.
Yeah.
So it's great that you've seen it and seen that potential.
People know the power of networking, and it's often like, you know, put on as a plus point to all kinds of things, like come along and network and meet people. But people don't either have the personal confidence or skills to do it. And there's a couple of reasons for that, I believe. Predominantly, the adoption of digital technology. We communicate through our screens now. And I see this in young people especially. So as well as teaching business people and academics how to network, I do quite a bit of training within schools. So teaching 16 to 18-year-olds how to network for career progression. But essentially it's teaching them how to have conversations, because they communicate through their screens where they can edit themselves. They can express themselves through emojis or whatever. And the idea of having to stand in front of another person and have a conversation in real time where they can't take it back, they can't edit it, and look in someone's face and try and read body language and social etiquette, they're out of practice. They don't know how to do it. And it's not their fault. It's just the world that they live in.
My daughter's 21. Funny you say that. I've just been down to London to see my daughter, and we were walking through Portobello Road Market. It was very lovely. But we were chatting about all of this, and we were saying about those skills when you leave school and leave uni. It's kind of those practical people skills and some of the things that, you know, you don't. She said now, looking back, there's some things she wished that they'd covered at uni. There's a lot of technical stuff, which is all kind of great, but some of the day-to-day business stuff. And I think networking's up there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I don't know whether you found this, but sometimes people go, oh, yeah, we do a bit of networking or whatever. I think it's a thing. It's an absolute core element of someone's overall kind of marketing. And I think it's really great that it's kind of got its own identity. And like you've come along and had that vision to go, right, it is a thing.
You know, I feel like you've got to, I'm fighting for it to be a thing.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
We want to make it a thing. It's got ing at the end. I'm sold.
There you go. I feel like it needs that stamp of credibility to be taken a bit more seriously, that it's not just fluffy. Come along, have a coffee, chat to people. There's so much more to it that, and because it's a lot more human than it is data orientated, it's not like social media marketing where you've got that data at your fingertips. It's different
behavior, isn't it?
It's
like, here we are now. Okay, so we're on a podcast, which is lovely, but we are looking at each other. I can see the whites of your eyes and all this sort of thing. And I think that's lovely. Because I think to be able to have those skills, and I think it, like you say, it's confidence. And do you find people say to you, "Why do I need to go? Why do I need to go? What will I get from it?" Do you get that from people? Saying, what do I get from networking?
You do. I think because people are scared of it, they'll look for reasons like not to do it. It's like public speaking or anything. If you don't really want to, then you're going to find reasons not, like going to the gym. You know what I mean? There's a million reasons. Oh, it's raining. I haven't filled my petrol up or whatever. So like there's always going to be, and networking is just the same. If people are scared of it or they don't feel comfortable or confident doing it, you know, throw in the global pandemic. 2 years of us not being allowed to socialize with each other. Again, that's really impacted people's how they feel about social situations, and rightly so. But that in turn has affected how we network, and events are often designed for more extroverted people. So they can be very energy draining for introverts who would prefer to have more one-to-one conversations than one-to-many. Or so there's loads of different elements to it that can really impact.
And I mean, certainly come back to that point about teaching the schools. I think that is just one thing when you mentioned there. I know I heard it on the news. They were saying that a lot of the kids are kind of a couple of years back because they didn't have the interaction with each other at school during COVID. So I think it's like that knock-on effect, isn't it? So good for you for kind of grabbing that with some of the younger ones coming through those kind of skills, because I think that's really important.
It's one of those things where when I started networking and started to like empower people to get more from it through teaching and what have you, I never would have seen schools and school kids as a target market for my business. But I feel that networking has got a solution to a problem that exists, and it's just got slightly a different name.
Exactly, and also going forward, these are the entrepreneurs of tomorrow.
Absolutely,
so we've got to be arming these people. Hello,
networking. It's for entrepreneurs, but it's also for staff.
Yeah,
being able to network internally within teams for knowledge transfer, sparking innovation. And that's going to impact how organisations function as well as the SMEs and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because, certainly one thing that we're mega passionate about here at Red Button Marketing and Training is kind of marketing being a business process that's embraced by everyone in the business, because it's not just one person down the corridor who does a little bit on a lunch break or whatever. It's a business process, and it's got to be embraced by everybody. Yeah. So I think it's right what you're saying about the networking, because it's just having that confidence to be able to speak to other people about a business, whatever role you're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's across the business, isn't it, really?
Yes.
And I think that is so important for businesses moving forward, because if they want to be future-proof and all of that, get everyone on board. Absolutely. Everyone needs training. Everyone needs networking training from NetKno.
Yeah, they do.
I love that. I've got just on a complete side note, and it was just something that came into my mind before we got chatting today in terms of networking prep. I'm not going to kind of like get you to share everything, because then that's your business.
Oh, no, yeah. I'll share it. But you can find it on the website.
I like top tips for a bit networking prep. And
I love a bit
I was thinking, I was driving here and I thought, if a good question, I think, tell me what you think to this, Jeni, right? Is what was the last song you heard on the radio before you got to this event? Is this a good question?
Oh, that's a really good question. I have a playlist that I listen to before I go to networking events.
Right, good prep.
A specific, because it gets you in the
power.
It's like, like when boxers are walking out to go for a fight.
Is that the
100%. Absolutely. Walk This Way was on.
Oh, yeah.
That was my song before coming in today.
Really? Oh, no, really good. Mine was, God, do you know what mine was?
What was it?
Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. And then just as that finished, it was H-A-P-P-Y.
Boost, you know what I mean? Especially like if you're on the train to a networking event, get your headphones in, get a good playlist that like really boosts your energy up, and then it builds your confidence. Yeah. It does. So
it is, isn't it? Do you think this is probably the biggest thing with people prepping for networking and doing it is confidence?
Yeah. And I think a lot of that comes from strategy. If you feel in control, if you've got a strategy, feel in control, you know what you're doing, because there's a lot of serendipity involved in networking. You bump into someone at the coffee, or you say, oh, I love your shoes, or whatever. You just chat to people. Yeah. But if you can take control of it, one, you're far more likely to attend, because you've got that level of investment already before you've even got there. Two, you have that, that autonomy of you feel like that you are in control of it. You know what your purpose is. You have goals. And even just setting a personal, mindset purpose for an event. I often say to people, instead of walking into an event thinking that you've got to sell at people, walk into an event thinking, right, what can I learn from these people? Yeah. The most valuable thing you can access from networking is knowledge. Yeah. So if you can walk into a networking event thinking, right, what am I going to learn from the people I speak to today? It completely takes the pressure off you. You're going to ask better questions. You're going to learn, which is going to impact you personally and your business. Yeah. And it's going to allow you to find out about opportunities and all kinds of different things that can potentially... And you're just going to come across better to people because you're listening to them.
Yeah, and you're sort of soaking it up, really, aren't you? I think,
absolutely.
And I think it's that subliminal thing. I think it's surprising what you pick up from other people if you're open
Yes.
and receptive to that. I
Yeah.
guess if you go in with that whole, oh my God,
I've got to sell, I'm stressed.
I'm like,
Yeah, then
you're not going to absorb anything.
yeah,
really, are you?
and you're gonna it's gonna come across to others. They'll be able to read that in you.
Yeah.
It's the same way if you feel like you have to wear a suit or something that makes you uncomfortable, and it's not you, and you're not reflecting your true personality.
Yeah.
Go as yourself, because people want to get to know you
Yeah.
as an individual. They want to get to know you as a person as well as your business. And if you are trying to be something you're not, that comes across as inauthentic. It's hard to build trust.
Absolutely.
And that's just a massive barrier to any network.
Exactly. I think this comes back again to that whole point of, of like you and the business you represent, and having that knowledge of like what that business is, what their business character is, where you are in that, being yourself and comfortable. But I think and you use a word that we sometimes use as well, but in the nicest possible way, which is good control.
Yeah.
Not control freaks, promise. But just good control, and that supporting your confidence and having that knowledge. I think knowledge is a key thing as well.
Absolutely. Knowledge, confidence, and that strategy.
Yeah. How the name? NetKno.
NetKno. So NetKno.
Well, networking, I'm guessing. The
Yeah.
net bit.
Well, when it first started, so when I launched, I was my husband took over parental leave so that I could launch the business. So my little one was 6 months old, and the week that we swapped was the week lockdown hit. And it was like, oh my, like literally, you couldn't make it. It was like being in a film.
Yeah.
It was it was chaos. Everything obviously got cancelled. There was no networking. That was crazy. But originally, I was a sole trader, and it was called Networking Know-Who. So it was like the play on like know who to talk to, but there's little elements to it there. But after about 8 months as a sole trader, I started to invest. Well, I wanted to build the SaaS platform, the software as a service platform that recently relaunched. So I shifted to a limited company and invested in having a proper brand done. So the original brand was literally me on Canva. Sorry, I shouldn't say. But it was very homemade. So Leah's Studio, who were a Northeast agency, they did the brand and they built the platform. So they rebranded as NetKno, which is just so much cleaner. And with the rebrands come some sub-brands now. So you've got NetKno, which is the company, but now we've got NetKno why, how, and where. Yeah. So the NetKno why is the services around like consultancy, creating strategies, working with businesses to help them understand why they're networking in the first place.
Yep.
The how is the training, the online courses, the in-person training, the pre-recorded content. And then the where is the strategic networking platform, which lists all the networking events that are coming up across the Northeast and Tees Valley. And you can subscribe to create your own little dashboard to just follow the networks that you actually care about and find events based on their topic. So again, it's empowering people to quickly find the right events that are right for them.
This is fantastic. I mean, we love a bit of connected thinking. This is unbelievably amazing.
That Liz,
thinking.
I'm going to totally give this to Liz.
This.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the business has only been going. It's less than 3 years, but it's evolved a lot, and you can visually see that through the branding, through the platform, the website itself. Even things like photography and stuff, it's really evolved. So
I have to comment on some images. I'm loving the images. I have seen some fab ones.
Oh, Christopher Owens.
Oh,
he's my hero.
love it.
He's amazing. The puppets that I use in my training have made an appearance in them. They're all colourful. So, yeah.
I think that's it. It's bringing colour, but it's bringing knowledge and it's bringing confidence. And it's just completely showcasing networking as a fundamental core part of anyone's overall kind of marketing, really. And as a way for them to move forward. And I kind of thank you for the fact that you've done that, really, and lifted the lid and got an amazing business. And I just think the future is absolutely awesome, to be fair. We could probably keep going, Jeni.
I know,
I've got to be honest, I'm
time.
sure this is probably part one. We'll have to do part two. But maybe just a quick couple of questions before we go. I'm going to fire this at you. And genuinely, listeners, this is not prepped, I will tell you. And actually,
I've got no idea what you're going to say.
I don't think any of
I'm
this
a bit
is scared. Right, you're going somewhere to a networking event. Where do you want to go in the world? Where's the best place to go for a networking event? There you go.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say America.
There.
Just because they do everything big, and like my family's all American. My mom's American. Like I'm an American citizen as well as British, but I've not been out there in years, so it'd be an excuse to go and visit family. But I think they just do stuff big.
It's all out just there,
And
isn't it?
Americans network differently. They'll like be like, hey, like they will literally just come up, whereas the British are a lot more reserved. So we'll, they'll go up and be like, hey, what do you do? Tell me. It's just, different.
Don't be surprised if you see that. I might be going somewhere and I might just go, hey!
Yeah.
Sorry, up to someone, like Jeni said.
Yeah, just do it. Do it.
That's
Just
it,
go and
that's
talk
it.
to them.
And we're going to do it.
Absolutely.
And then, okay, you're at a networking event, right? I just would love to know what celebrities, if you're sat around a table at a networking dinner, let's say, who do you want to your left and who do you want to your right? Who would you love to be sat in between at a networking dinner?
Dead or alive? Do they have to be alive?
Either. Let's go.
I'm obsessed with Leonardo da Vinci. I'd love to talk to Leonardo da Vinci. His brain. Do you know he invented scissors? Like he invented,
Did he?
yeah, and the helicopter.
This is an educational podcast, guys.
Honestly, he used to get dead bodies and like examine muscles so that he could draw people better. Like his brain was just crazy. So I'd love to talk to him. And then probably the other side, just for the crack, it's going to have to be Meghan Markle.
Oh, there
just
you are.
For the crack.
A bit controversial here today, guys.
Imagine that dinner
there's
party.
a combo.
I know.
I'm loving that.
Just for everything that's going on. I need to meet her in person because I've got a good radar for people. I've met that many of them networking over the years. I think just to sit and have a conversation with her, I'd love to just chat to her.
Ask her direct.
Yeah,
you know
just
what I mean?
she's like.
I think then let's just put this podcast back again. Then you can come back and report.
Okay, there you go.
On Button
If that ever
Banter.
happens, I've chatted with Prince William at a networking event before.
Really?
I talked to him about Smurfs. That was a whole thing. Yeah,
That's pretty
so you
good.
never know.
You don't know.
You never
don't
know.
I mean, I'm just going to put it out but before we close up. I'm just going to have to say I can't bring that much to the table on this one, but I have got one little tiny story that's genuinely true. Myself and my daughter were lunch mates on Steph's Pat lunch. And we were there, but we came out the studio and Dan Walker came up to us and said, "Do I know you? Have I seen you before?" And me and my daughter were quite taken aback that Dan Walker, like major sort of TV celeb person.
I hope you said, well, yeah, probably.
And then I looked at him and said, "Do you live in Sheffield, don't you?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I have been to Sheffield." That's my claim to fame, that I genuinely said that. So just want to say, in terms of networking,
you just never know.
I don't know how that rates, but do you know
That's
what?
up there. That is
Sometimes
up
you've just
there.
got to be able to just chat it out. Chat it out,
Absolutely.
like we have today, Jeni, honestly. And it's been an absolute joy. Just want to thank you once again for coming down and just having a bit of banter with us, really.
Thanks so much.
It's been absolutely great. And we'll watch this space with NetKno.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jeni from NetKno. Button banter at its best. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us today on the Red Button Marketing and Training podcast. You have been listening to Button Banter. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for more news and the next episode coming very soon.